with the events that occurred in the Amhara region. Well, in the Amhara region, had we, by we I mean Fano, fighting has occurred throughout the Amhara region. We had not slept throughout the day. So, Fano was fighting throughout the region, and election was not, in most of those 20% of the areas that's controlled by the regime, election was not able to be held, under normal circumstances. So in the vast majority of the region, election had not taken place in the Amhara region. This should be clear. I think this is clear. For anyone who's following the events of this election, I think this is so plain clear that it does not beg much explanation. But anyway, we have to say it. So this is a fact. There is no way that the regime could claim that they have a mandate of the Amhara region come the next, parliamentary session. So this is a significant part of the story of this election. Having said that, now if we go to Addis Ababa, let me go to Addis Ababa, the next area that I have received from where I have received so many reports throughout the day. Now, a striking thing about about Addis Ababa is that there has been lines. People have stood in lines to cast their votes, and I've seen so many photographs of those people lined. Now, the most important thing that you should notice about those photographs is that in the vast majority, the vast majority of the people that have lined up are people over 40 years old. Now, why is this significant? We know about the Ethiopian population chart, and this chart, it's a pyramid. The Ethiopian population chart, chart is a pyramid. So you have the vast majority of the people are below 30 years old. In fact, the average age of an Ethiopian is 17 years old. It's only 17. So we know automatically from this, from the demography of the population of this residents, that the vast majority of the voters would be between 18 years old and 30 years old. But if you look at the pictures that have been been distributed by the regime and by others, by the opposition figures and by the regime, it shows you that this section of the population, the people between residents between 18 years old and 30 years old, is completely absent. It's virtually absent. It's very hard to find someone between between 18 and 30 years old. So this tells you that the majority of Addis Ababans have not participated in this election. So this is a story from Addis Ababa. This is the story from Addis Ababa. This is where people have been forced to vote. We know that this is the norm throughout the country. People are not going there to vote in booths and casting their votes on a voluntary basis. They're being forced to do this. So the population between 18 and 30 years old has not come out and cast their votes despite the coercion from the government. So this is a significant story. So the question would be then who voted? The number of people over 40 years old in Addis Ababa is not significant. So if they claim that a large number of people that come out and cast their votes, the question would be, why aren't we seeing them in the photographs? This is a question that should be asked. In the Oromo region, I've seen reports, though I have no one who personally reported to me. I have seen reports, credible reports, that there was stuffing of ballot boxes by the regime since last night. They did not even wait up to today to do that. So there was this, I've seen those videos, very credible videos, or very credible sources that show, regime operatives stuffing ballot boxes. So this is being done in plain sight of the world. The regime, even in the region where it says that it has its broadest support, it has resorted to stuffing ballots. So this tells you what's happening in the country. So this is an election that has no credibility whatsoever. But this is, I think the world knows this.